Beastars is about a gray wolf named Legoshi who finds out his clubmate's killer while training to defend herbivores. There's also the sheep that gets in the way, but in a way, he kinda saves him. The killer's not who I wanted it to be, but it makes sense when you think about it. First, I just want to say the opening to Season 2 is so much better than the Season 1 opening. I can't stand the first seasons. I didn't like the song, and it looks like a goddamn Wes Anderson movie. Not that that's bad, I like Wes Anderson, it's just it didn't fit the art style of the show. Anyway, it starts off some months later with Legoshi and his roommates looking at the stars because Jack promised them a meteor shower, but they can't see it, so Jack goes to get his telescope. He gets his telescope and cuts through one of the buildings, although I would think they would have them locked at night, but I guess they weren't locked the night Tem died, so screw it, I guess they didn't learn their lesson. Jack hears a noise from the room Tem died in and sees a bunch of eyes go across the doorway, so he drops his telescope and runs. The next day, they're all discussing whether what Jack saw was real or not, when this raccoon, I think he's a raccoon, this raccoon comes up and says that it's Tem's ghost and that he's haunting the halls because his killer, Bill, hasn't been caught yet. And that Tem's ghost killed Louie or something and that's why he's missing. Later on at Drama Club, everyone is talking about what they're gonna do since Louie is still missing, because I guess they miss him, and Legoshi hears some rattling sound. That night, these two go to where Tem was killed to prove to Jack that there's nothing in there. Okay, seriously, it's been 6 months and the school hasn't cleaned up this area, removed Tem's picture, or even fixed the broken door, and they just leave the door wide open. They are just asking for someone else to get hurt. I seriously think this school sucks. Anyway, they take a picture, see a multitude of eyes, get freaked out, and run away. The next day, Jack and his roommates are trying to convince the school newspaper publisher to look into the hauntings, but he doesn't believe them.
Business is already slowing up!
Hang on, get a load of this! I'm injured here!
But that's because you tripped and fell.
I just find that line so funny. And Legoshi tells them about the rattling sound he's been hearing. After that, Legoshi goes outside alone, and god damn it, Louie's back. But he's just there to give his resignation to the school, then he leaves.
The light and the darkness have reversed. Good luck clawing through the disastrous twilight. I have decided to pursue a different path.
After whatever that was, Legoshi runs into Juno and she's all upset about something. It's more high school drama crap, I don't care. So they go to the nature room together. Turns out a guinea pig was playing pranks on people and the school isn't haunted. I do like how much they leaned into the whole Tem is haunting the school thing though. Anyway, later on, Legoshi's roommates are talking about how the school isn't haunted, and Legoshi starts saying it's real.
Huh? Well, can't you guys hear it? There's something in this room. 'Cause I've been able to hear it for days, this sha sound. Something is watching us.
So Jack tries talking to him, and he punches the wall because he's a psycho. Then he just goes and gets his laundry like nothing happened. Meanwhile, the animal leaders are having some meeting on who the next Beastar is going to be, but it just degrades into Cherryton's principal getting yelled at about Tem getting eaten.
Perhaps that's the attitude that allowed the devouring incident to occur on your school grounds!
You know, maybe part of this world's problem is that a rodent feels comfortable yelling at a tiger. Back at school, Legoshi is getting his laundry, and this giant rattlesnake drops in front of him. So what's with the snake?
Cherryton's only security guard. You can call me Six Eyes.
Security guard? I didn't know we had one.
Wait, the night after Tem was killed, Legoshi mentioned security.
Security's been patrolling a lot ever since the incident.
If Six Eyes is the only security guard and he doesn't know about her, what did he mean by that? Anyway, she's been watching him.
You're the most terrible and wonderful student here.
The whole Legoshi's a psycho joke was because in the manga she says he's the craziest psycho in the whole school. But she says terrible and wonderful in the show. Thanks, joke killer. Anyway, Legoshi says something weird and Six Eyes takes off. He chases her and they end up in the place where Tem was killed, and Six Eyes wants Legoshi to find who killed him. Maybe she shouldn't rely on a student to catch Bill, I mean the killer, because he's a killer. What the hell is she doing? The next day, Legoshi is trying to figure out how to talk with one of Tem's roommates, and Jack gives him the idea to ask Else for help. So with her help, Detective Legoshi asks Tem's roommate Carl some questions.
Maybe he went out all by himself in the middle of the night?
He seems to remember something, but then these dicks start yelling and slam the door in Legoshi's face. The next day at class, Carl gives Legoshi Tem's diary, but it only mentions something about a friend. That night, Legoshi seeks Six Eyes out to agree to help her find Tem's killer. Well, this will be interesting. I look forward to never seeing this character again. Anyway, at the black market, the Shishigumi is trying to convince the snapping turtle to pay them protection money. But Louie talks him into it because for some damn reason, he's their boss now. Whatever, back at the drama club, Legoshi is thinking about who killed Tem and starts talking about it. So Bill immediately gets pissed, gee I wonder why that would be, and starts yelling at him. Then whoever this is comes in, talks a lot of crap, and leaves.
I'll be on my way. Please resume your little squabble. See ya.
This character is annoying.
His attitude sucks. Kid needs an ass kicking.
Wow, Bill said something I agree with. By the way, Louie is the Shishigumi boss because the night he killed their old boss and disappeared, they decided to make him their new boss to change their image or something instead of eating him like I wanted them to do. I mean, come on, they couldn't even let him shoot himself. They did put it to a vote, but it looks like there's only 10 of them left. But before Haru's rescue, Going said there was 35 lions. That means that Legoshi and Going took out 24 lions on their way to rescue Haru. Are the rest dead? What happened to them? Anyway, as a test, they decided it's a good idea to have Louie eat a piece of meat. I know he's an asshole, but what the hell? And so, like a heartless deer, freaking Aesop here eats it. Back at the school, everyone formally meets Pina the sheep.
What's the point of adding a new member right now? You're not trying to replace Louie with some new kid, are you?
Who said it was Louie he's trying to replace? Anyway, he starts talking crap about how carnivores are ugly and pisses everyone off. So that evening, the carnivores have a meeting where Bill acts like a crazy person.
I'm gonna kill that sleazy goat. I'll skin him and swallow him whole.
Look, I know you're mad.
To talk about that and who killed Tem, as if it's not obvious. But all the others want to hear about is the night Legoshi spent with Haru, and get way too excited about it. Like, what is wrong with them? No. But then Abba actually tries to understand how Legoshi feels. Well, at least one person's a good friend. The other 4 are dicks. Well, Legoshi has a cold, so he leaves and goes to talk with Haru, and asks her the worst question he could ask.
Do you still have feelings for Louie?
What the hell, dude? Then he goes to be alone and think, where he has this weird memory of Tem and then someone attacks him. But they keep a shadow over him to hide who Tem's killer is, even though it's Bill. Because you know what's a good way to make sure someone stops investigating something? Beat the crap out of them. Because of his cold, Legoshi can't smell who it is, so he mouth rapes him trying to figure out any clue of who this is. So not Bill kicks him across the ground and runs off. Although I can't say I blame him after that. Legoshi tries calling Jack, but can't even speak. So all Jack hears is Legoshi struggling to breathe, and Jack's so innocent, he's just like, oh, he has a cold, he needs tissues, I'll bring him some. But as he gets closer, he starts to realize something's wrong, and when he gets there, he's just like, oh god, and has a panic attack. After things calm down, Legoshi tells Jack that he's leaving, and to tell everyone his grandpa is sick and that he left to take care of him. Then he just leaves like an asshole. Jack is so innocent, and Legoshi is just screwing him up. Anyway, Legoshi goes to the black market to ask Going to teach him how to fight, since he sucks at fighting. But he says no and leaves. But I guess Legoshi just followed him home? So Going patches him up and agrees to teach him. But since Going's worried about the Shishigumi recognizing him, there's a catch.
Let's just think of this as an oath-keeping ritual!
Well, Legoshi's dead. Elsewhere in the black market, there's a strip club where herbivores are basically used to tease carnivores. I don't know how much of this I can show. I stand by that it doesn't count as nudity because it's animals and parts are still covered, but YouTube might freak out. They do have a cage to keep anyone from trying to eat her, but some dumbass lowers it and prevents it from going back up, and some tiger loses it and tries to eat her. Tigers are prone to losing control and eating herbivores. Good to know. But some gunshot snaps him out of it, and the Shishigumi come in and beat the crap out of him, because I guess Louie is having them help the weak now. Then they go back to their hideout and eat a bunch of meat, because I guess Louie is just eating meat now. I'm sure that's great for him. Then he goes back to his room and vomits, so I guess not. Ibuki has been noticing that Louis is getting sick and feels bad, so to be nice, he buys him some vegetables, and since Louis is incapable of being appreciative, this asshole gets pissed and yells at him for it. Then Free interrupts Louis' wine session because Juno somehow tracked Louis down and wants to talk to him. Louis and Juno have a talk where Juno tells him that Legoshi managed to save Haru, and that she tracked him down from what Legoshi said that night. Couldn't she just have been happy that he was gone? Then Juno gets upset about something, I'm really not sure what, and runs off. Meanwhile, back at the hideout, Free is talking about how he plans to eat Louis after he served his purpose, and Ibuki gets pissed and threatens to kill him if he does. Back at school, Legoshi's roommates are wondering where Legoshi is, and Jack said he's not coming back just as Legoshi comes back. But they're all acting weird, because Going cut all of his fur off to make him unrecognizable to the Shishigumi. And Legoshi tells the drama club he has to leave early every day to take care of his sick grandpa. But he's really spending his nights at Going's clinic basically torturing himself by getting locked in a room with a slab of meat. It's supposed to teach him not to crave meat, but I think Going is just torturing him. So what exactly is this training he's doing?
School from morning to sundown, training from night until the crack of dawn, and you only commute by running too.
So pretty much he never sleeps. Sometime back at school, Legoshi is showing Pina the drama club's art supplies, and per usual, Pina starts talking crap and pisses Legoshi off. Then this dick turns off the lights and tells Legoshi to eat him. God, this guy's a dumbass. But Legoshi just leaves, even though he should have bit him. Anyway, Louis needed his father's signature for his resignation letter, so he went to his office to get it. But Ogma doesn't sign it right away, so Louis pulls a gun on him. What the hell, dude? But Ogma just puts his hand on the barrel and laughs at how dramatic Louis is being. He signs it anyway for some reason.
I won't allow my horns conglomerate to fall just because of your petulance.
At least they got the company name right this time. So he's free to be these lions' boss or whatever. Back at school, Legoshi continues his investigation of Tem's killer and wants to see the inside of Juno's mouth. I get he's ruling out suspects, but does he seriously think it'd be her? However long later...
It's been a week since Legoshi began meat Zazen training.
Okay, a week later, Legoshi has advanced enough in his training that he can touch the meat, and he's been burying all the meat after training. Later on, Legoshi is studying at the library and falls asleep. Then Haru shows up and they talk about their relationship or something.
Haru, I think we should get married instead.
What was with this guy dripping in the background? This show just loves to have these characters randomly trip for no reason, and I find it hilarious. Anyway, Legoshi asks Haru to marry him, and she gets pissed and leaves. I don't know what he was expecting. That evening at Drama Club, there's some scene of Bill and Teo struggling to pick up a box. Then this bear just picks it up like it's nothing. Huh. I'm sure it's nothing. This starts a debate on carnivore strength and introduces this tug-of-war game they play. And Bill just whoops Legoshi without even trying, because his training has made his jaw weaker. I have no idea how that works, and it doesn't make much sense, but whatever. He decides that since he's alone in the locker room, he's gonna drink out of everybody's water to find out who Tem's killer is. Gross. And finds this crush thing in one of the lockers. The next day, Legoshi and Dom are looking at a red filter. Wait, can Legoshi see red? Canines can't see red, but this is a fictional world, so maybe then he just... I'm sorry. I shouldn't laugh, but how the hell did that happen?
It's the...
Okay then. And Legoshi's just like, yeah, this happens sometimes. They can sew it back on. So while everyone else is freaking out, he takes Kibby to the nurse and Riz grabs his arm to take it with them. If the killer is this damn bear, I swear to God. Anyway, they take Kibby to the nurse's office.
I know it was you, Riz. You're Tem's killer.
You got me. With Tem, I just got carried away. It was all a terrible accident.
God damn it. It was supposed to be Bill. He brought rabbit's blood to the plate. He scratched the crap out of Legoshi's back. He ate that goat's finger. He's way too into the whole being a true carnivore thing. He freaks out every time Tem is mentioned, and he's an arrogant douche. But sure, it's this damn bear. God damn it. They're about to fight. I'm sure that would go great for Legoshi, but then Peanut comes in bringing Kibby's bag. What's going on with Riz's eyes? Legoshi wants to make sure Peanut didn't hear what was said, but this dumbass is like, yeah, I heard everything. So they go to the cafeteria to talk about it.
If a second member of the drama club died mysteriously, one has to imagine that the police would start investigating in earnest.
What? Were they not before? Someone was murdered. Why would they not investigate that in earnest? Because if they did, you would think it wouldn't be that hard to figure out that a giant bear did it. Maybe this world just sucks. Anyway, because of what happened to Kibby, the school is separating herbivores and carnivores at the new year, and Bill is upset about it.
Damn it, snap out of it! You're the friendly feline of the drama club. You can't be depressed.
Oh yeah, you're so friendly. Anyway, he and Else go to the drama club where they're deciding whether to keep the club together or do what the teachers say. Is Sanyo not a teacher?
What? No, dumbass.
I seriously thought he was a teacher this whole time. It turns out bears over 6 feet tall have to take this muscle suppressant because otherwise their strength is viewed as too dangerous, but these meds have severe side effects like causing migraines, and the only way to suppress them is to drink vast amounts of honey, because that's not a bullshit law at all. Anyway, 8 months ago, when Tem was still alive, he decided he wanted to become Riz's new best friend.
Do you get lonely? You know, because you're so big?
But Riz decided, sure, what could go wrong? So he told Tem about this medicine he has to take, and after like 3 days of them talking, Riz decided, I don't need to take my medicine anymore, and threw them away. Then one night, they decided it was a good idea to meet up in the middle of the night, and Riz told Tem he skipped his meds. Tem was not cool with it, so he flipped out and tried to run away. But Riz grabbed his arm too hard and accidentally scratched Tem's arm. So Tem got freaked out and ran off. So Riz followed him and then just lost it and attacked him. I guess to cope with it, Riz created this fantasy of Tem accepting what he did.
I'll accept everything about you, Riz. You don't have to suffer anymore.
Yeah, that's not what happened. After that disturbing story, there's something about social media that Sheila is upset about.
Being 18 is hard enough, but being a leopard on top of it.
I know I complained about them calling her a cheetah in the first season.
At age 14, that cheetah...
She's a leopard, not a cheetah. But maybe Kai's just stupid. Anyway, there's the scene of her and the sheep going shopping. It doesn't have much importance, but they're still not doing her movement right. At the black market, Legoshi and Going are tracking this hyena to bring it back to the clinic as part of Legoshi's training. Going wants Legoshi to get him, so he straps a muzzle on him and throws him over the edge.
I'm not a feline, you know. I don't just land on my feet.
You know, I think Going just likes messing with Legoshi. So they fight, and Legoshi slams him against a wall. I thought the goal was to capture him, not kill him. Damn. Back at school, Juno sees Haru and decides to follow her. So Haru convinces her to help with the school's garden, where they have this conversation and Juno says Haru should try calling Louie. Speaking of which, he's helping guard a meat shop where this old goat... Oh my god, what the hell? Where this old goat is gonna have this reptile's genitals cut off so he can eat them to become virile again. What is wrong with this place? To protect Louie, Ibuki moves his hand up to block him from seeing. But Louie is so comfortable in his role now, he moves his hand down. God damn it, am I starting to like Louie? That night, Louie and Ibuki have a conversation about how they're not that different and where they came from. Then Haru calls, and Louie just drops his phone off the roof and goes inside. I guess the Shishigumi are doing well, except they're having a problem with someone stealing elephant tusks. Somewhere else in the black market, Legoshi has been training, and now knows how to take out several different species. At least he doesn't completely suck at fighting now. He even gets to see how Gohin helps meat addicts.
You never turn your patients in, even if they've devoured somebody.
Punishing my patients won't solve anything. Any carnivore can recover if they really try.
Back at the school, Teo visits Kibby since he's suspended, and I guess Kibby's arm is getting better. Great. The Shishigumi found who's been stealing elephant tusks, and turns out it's Legoshi, except he's trying to stop whoever really is stealing the tusks. But freaking Aesop here is such a heartless asshole, he assumes Legoshi is sneaking off to the black market to eat meat because that lines up with his character, and brings him back to the lion's den. At least Legoshi has a cover.
My name is Haruo. I'm 27 years old and I work night.
Haruo, go ahead and eat your fill.
I can't eat this. I don't mean to be rude, but you see, I'm a large fox. So the only thing I can eat is fried tofu.
This pisses Louis off, so he eats a piece of meat in front of him, then they go outside to have a talk, where Louis realizes that he was wrong, but not that he was an asshole. Then they talk about Hadu for some reason, and Legoshi tells him about his training and he tries to get Louis to leave with him. I may like Louis better as the boss of the Shishigumi, but I really don't see what he stands to gain from staying. It just seems like he's putting his life at risk. But Louis says no and sticks his lions on him, because he wants to stay. So like a psycho, Legoshi grabs Louis, tells him he found who killed Tem, and jumps off the balcony.
Damn it! The psycho jumped!
See, even they think he's a psycho. The next day, back at school, everyone is talking about how much better Kibby is doing.
Maybe I should pay him a visit myself.
Great idea. You know, it's not fair that Tao got suspended.
They did what they had to. Being so careless around an herbivore is one of the worst things a carnivore can do.
This pisses Legoshi off, so he breaks a light and freaks out at Riz in front of everyone. But Riz just eggs him on.
Keeping your emotions in check is Carnivore 101. I guess that your soul is just inferior to mine.
To be fair, what is Riz going to do? Kibby's in an infirmary with a lot of people around. Like, what can Riz do? Plus, he did help when Kibby got hurt. I don't see why Legoshi gets so mad about this. Then Peanut causes a distraction and makes Legoshi apologize. After club, Legoshi and Peanut talk about what happened, and Riz breaks the staff, because that doesn't seem suspicious at all. I mean, how many club members could break a staff this thick? Turns out Riz's favorite hobby is cooking, although I don't find that very surprising. The only problem is that he somehow lost his sense of taste after eating Tem. Anyway, Hadu wants to talk to Legoshi because she's still worried about Louis, although he's fine. Why is everyone so worried about this damn deer? And starts crying about it. Later on, Peanut's in the bathroom when Riz randomly shows up, where he tells Peanut to tell Legoshi to leave him alone or he'll eat both of them. Then this crazy person bites Peanut's finger, except he didn't actually bite it and then leaves.
My bad. Bye.
Was that a threat? What was that? Anyway, at the black market, Ibuki gives Free a gun to shoot him in case he ever tries to eat Louis, because I'm sure that won't be used later. At the school library, Peanut tells Legoshi what Riz did, and this dumbass decided it was a good idea to leave Riz a note to meet him somewhere as a trap. So Legoshi freaks out and gets a letter from Riz's locker, except Riz catches him, so now I guess they're gonna fight. I'm sure that'll go well for Legoshi. But Riz's muscle suppressants start giving him a migraine. Legoshi notices, grabs his honey, and throws it out the window. Dick. Seriously, what is going on with Riz's eyes? They start fighting, but then Riz decides it's a better idea to go fight somewhere else. So freaking Riz here just... Wait, that's literally Riz. That's literally... Yeah. So literally Riz here grabs Legoshi by the throat and drags him across campus to the showers. And they start fighting by Legoshi ripping Riz's chest open. What the hell? You know, with how many times they've mentioned Legoshi's grandpa at this point, you think they would have done something with him by now. Anyway, they're fighting and...
Anyone in there? Gracie, don't!
Oh, hello, ma'am. We won't be long. Would you mind waiting?
Fine. But don't take all day.
Sorry again. Guess we should get out of here. Let's clean up this blood.
You know what? I kind of like this guy as a villain. Anyway, I guess they're done fighting now, but Legoshi gets pissed and decides they're gonna fight on New Year's Eve. Wasn't there a snake security guard or something? Also, if only Legoshi knew someone who constantly deals with this type of thing on a daily basis. Whatever, Legoshi wants to feel closer to Riz, so he decides to eat a bug alive, because I guess that's equivalent to eating an animal? So he eats it and goes through this acid trip where the moth talks to him, and basically tells him to respect life or something. Even going is like, what the hell? But it causes fur to grow back, so I guess it was worth it. What a surprise, Riz isn't taking his medicine again, because I'm sure going on and off it constantly is great for him. So that's great. Back at the black market, Louis at a bar with Ibuki when Legoshi comes in dressed as a woman to disguise himself.
Please don't make this into a scene, Louis darling.
What the hell? Anyway, he tells Louis Riz is the culprit and that they're gonna fight on New Year's Eve.
Huh? Just call the goddamn police.
Oh my god, Louis said something I agree with. God damn it, why am I starting to like this character? But seriously, if a mob boss is telling you to call the police, maybe it's time to call the police. And Legoshi wants Louis to be there.
I'll be waiting!
Don't be! I'm not going!
What the hell is going on? Back at the school, Pina is trying to get Riz to talk to him about the night he ate Tem, which upsets Riz because he's secretly filming it. Yeah, if you're gonna secretly film someone's confession, maybe don't put the camera at their eye level. If the entire point of the series is based around who ate Tem, what are they gonna do after Riz? Anyway, Legoshi thinks of his friends and how sad they'd be if he died on his way to fight Riz. Well, I guess Pina's dead because Riz wanted Legoshi to not hold back. Seriously, why with the eyes? And Louis is leaving the Shishigumi so he can go help Legoshi. Couldn't he just stay with them and have this be like a field trip or something? Anyway, Ibuki gets upset and convinces Louis to go for a drive with him, and drives him into a dark tunnel and attempts to eat him. But Free comes in and shoots Ibuki. God damn it, couldn't he have just been happy that Louis was gonna be dead?
He made me promise to do it.
He did what?
In case he lost it and tried to eat you.
Ibuki would never have done anything of the sort.
He literally just did. But Free tells Louis to leave and that he'll kill him if he ever comes back. Back at the fight, Legoshi figures out that Pina is actually still alive, so it's time to fight.
I built this archive of scents, specifically for the animals I want to protect.
Okay, Shao Kahn. That was gross. Was that for Patrick Seitz not being an 11? The eye thing, screw it. They fight, but since Legoshi sucks at fighting, he gets his ass kicked. Then Riz decides it's confession time.
You've been right all along. Eating Tem wasn't about friendship. In the end, it really was just a mindless devouring.
Then they just stop and have a conversation. And Legoshi decides, I don't even know, that they're gonna be friends now? But Riz is like, screw that, and launches him across the room. Riz is about to kill Legoshi, but Louis comes in and saves him. So he tries to kill Louis, but Legoshi comes in and ruins it. Meanwhile, Pina escaped and called the cops, and Legoshi and Louis got away from Riz and talk. Legoshi wants to go back and finish the fight with Riz, but Louis doesn't want him to, so he starts crying over the thought of losing another friend. Wait, is he actually learning a lesson? Anyway, Louis gets the idea that Legoshi needs to eat his leg in order to get strong enough to win a fight against Riz. At least he's finally keeping his promise from earlier. Well, this freaking psycho did it, and he and Riz kind of start fighting again, but then Riz realizes he was wrong about how he feels about Tem, and just goes, I'm done, and they stop fighting. And Louis has something to say.
I don't need to tell you that what you did is unforgivable. But please forgive me for not recognizing your loneliness.
Okay, first, thanks for messing up that parallel. Second, that's not an apology. That's telling Riz to do something. He could have at least said, I'm sorry. At least he almost learned a lesson. Then the police come to arrest Riz. They also arrested Legoshi and marked him as a devourer offender, even though Louis literally told him to do it. Seems kind of messed up, but whatever. So this convinces Legoshi of this great idea.
I think I'm gonna quit school.
What?
Fantastic. I'm sure that won't backfire on him later. I enjoyed this season. I like that it starts off as a murder mystery as Legoshi tries to find who Tem's killer is. It's an interesting premise using one of Tem's roommates as a way for Legoshi to investigate the murder. I don't know what the point of Six Eyes is though. If she's the school's only security guard, which is weird by itself, why is she relying on a student to find the killer instead of helping the police? Especially because at one time, it seems like she knows who it is by giving him a clue, but wants Legoshi to find him himself. Is she afraid of being wrong? I don't know. It just puts a student in unnecessary danger, which almost gets him killed. I find it interesting that Louis becomes the boss of the Shishigumi. I find it odd logic that they make him the boss instead of just eating him, but it's a good way to rebuild the gang after the boss was killed. I like the parts of Legoshi training to learn how to fight, but I mostly liked watching Going mess with him. I honestly thought the killer was Bill at first. I thought it was going to be kind of a redemption thing for Legoshi after the theater fight and Bill eating meat at the black market. I don't really like the idea of a background character being the killer. It seems kind of disingenuous to the audience in finding out who it is. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I actually like Louis as a Shishigumi boss. He acts like less of a spoiled rich kid and more mature. He seems to have accepted his role, and as odd as it is, he seems to be more in his element in the black market. It's also a good way to show the darker side of the black market, from the damage to the hyena's body from his meat addiction to showing that there are instances of herbivores eating carnivores. I do think Pina's an idiot for trying to bait Riz, especially because it almost got him killed. And some of Legoshi's choices just baffle me, like getting mad at Riz for saying he wants to visit Kibby. I get why Legoshi doesn't want him to, but what harm is he gonna do in an infirmary filled with witnesses? Or insisting on fighting Riz? I understand he wants to help him without getting him in legal trouble, but he doesn't seem to see the obvious solution. He can at least offer to take Riz to Going's clinic and get him help that way, and if Riz says no, I guess then fight. But he just never offers, he just goes straight to fighting. I guess he is a teenager if you want to use that as an excuse. I find it odd that Louis completely left the Shishigumi in order to watch Legoshi fight. I know he didn't want to be seen as running away from his problems, but he could have at least said he was dealing with a personal matter and went back after and used the lessons he learned to improve the black market in a better way. I also wish they wrote Louis' apology in a better way. It was supposed to show that Louis had learned a new appreciation for carnivores and recognized how he had mistreated them, but it comes off as just another example of him telling carnivores what to do. The voice acting is fantastic all around. Jonah Scott is still great as Legoshi. Every emotion Legoshi goes through sounds believable. Whether he's just talking, or he's happy, or sad, you can easily hear what emotions he's going through. His growls and yells sound great also, and the voice he does when Legoshi is disguised as a woman is hilarious. Griffin Puatu is really good as Louis. He can voice Louis' disgust at eating meat really well, and I like how his tone changes as Louis begins to accept and fall into his role as the Shishigumi boss. Laura Jo Miller is fantastic as Haru. I can't believe I forgot to mention her in my video on the first season. I really like the voice she does for Haru. She can voice Haru's annoyance with Legoshi really well, and also sell her appreciation with Juno for helping her, even if she did kind of trick her into it. Haley McKee is really good as Pina. I know I called this character annoying, but he's supposed to be annoying, with his arrogant attitude and the way he just does whatever he wants, and Kaylee does a great job portraying that. She's also really good at showing Pina's nervousness and fear around Riz. Patrick Seitz is fantastic as Riz. I must admit, I wasn't sure how I felt about him voicing Riz when he first announced it, since I know him best as voicing Scorpion in Mortal Kombat, except for 11, but he nails the voice. He sounds almost exactly the way you would expect a young bear to sound, with the low, almost goofy voice. He also shows his range with portraying Riz's ignorance of what he did, and he can sound intimidating when Riz is angry or frustrated. Kyle McCarley once again does a great job as Tem. He can show through his voice that Tem really does care about Riz when they're having their conversations, and can voice the fear Tem has when Riz attacks him. James Mathis does a really good job voicing Ibuki. He has that deep, gruff voice you'd expect from a lion. It gives him that powerful voice Ibuki would need to command a room when he needs to. And he does a good job selling that Ibuki really does care about Louis. And Yatko is really good as Six Eyes. The inflections of her voice gives her that cunning and almost intimidating sound that a snake would have. Billy Kamitz is great as Durham. He can do the sarcastic tone really well when Durham's calling out Jack for there not being a meteor shower, and when he doesn't believe that there's a ghost haunting the school. And it's really funny when he's freaking out about seeing the ghost. I'm glad Billy Kamitz's character got a bigger role in one of these episodes, especially because he unfortunately passed away from cancer in 2022. The animation is fantastic. As I said in the first season, all the characters look like the animals that they're supposed to. I appreciate the subtle movements the characters do too, like how their tails have these subtle movements instead of just staying still the entire time, or how their ears have this slight swaying movement when the characters move their heads. I really like the art style of the attack against Legoshi. It mirrors the style of the night Tem was killed, with the all-black background and the characters being a blue outline with the red of their blood as an accent, and it was a creative way to mask the killer's identity. The animation they use to show sense is really clever, with pink and sometimes blue effects that make it look like smoke. Legoshi's design for having all of his fur cut short is really well done. It looks so different from his regular look, but yet is still recognizable as being him. The animation changes and the attack on Tem are great. How it goes from red lighting when they're outside to having a blue color scheme when they go into the auditorium, and the way the room becomes artificially bright to show that what is going on is Riz's delusion and not what really happened, and then immediately going back to just light from the projector when the delusion is done is a really clever way to show what's real and what's not. There are some things that bother me though. I see they still don't have temples for the glasses, but that's just a small gripe because it seems like a once you see it you can't unsee it type of thing. So, you're welcome for that. Riz's eyes changing when he's angry bother me. It's just such an odd choice to have his eyes change so dramatically. I understand the logic behind it. Bears have relatively small eyes and the character designers wanted to keep that aspect, but it makes it harder to portray emotions, so they gave him larger eyes to better show his anger and frustration. But I feel they didn't need to do that, especially because there are times when Riz is angry and his eyes stay small and it looks great, and there are times when they show he can still look intimidating with his regular eyes too. Well, looks like we're done with the Thames Devourer story of the series, but I'm sure they'll find a new villain who's even crazier, and maybe introduce a plot point that got skipped. If you want to see an uncensored version of this video, or any of my other videos, check out my Patreon. If not, I appreciate you watching my video here too. Don't forget to do the YouTube stuff, and thanks for watching.